from this morning. All remaining COVID travel rules in the UK, including testing on arrival and the passenger locator forms, are to be scrapped. Many airlines are also relaxing their mask-wearing policies on board for flights for passengers.
But with COVID cases on the rise in England and Easter getaways on the horizon, is now the right time to ditch masks when travelling on flights?
Well, we're joined by Dr. Tricia Greenhouse, she's Professor of Primary Health Care and Sciences at the University of Oxford. And we also have travel expert Paul Charles with us as well. Good morning to both of you. Dr. Greenhouse, if we could start with you. What are your concerns about this? As we were talking earlier, these COVID cases are rising, and there is a real concern that there could be various reasons for this that we don't necessarily understand at the moment. Easter holidays are about to hit as well, so more people are going to be taking off and flying. Is it the right time to be lifting these restrictions?
Well, no, you said it, Ben, haven't you? It is absolutely the wrong time to be lifting the restrictions. And we all know people who've got COVID at the moment. It is, I think, there's more cases of COVID currently than there've ever been in the UK. The deaths are not quite as high as they have been, but they are also on the rise. So vaccination is not going to protect us fully against this very dominant variant, which is highly transmissible and which we're going to catch if we don't wear masks.
Well, Paul, I'm sure it's very welcome to a beleaguered travel industry that it's going to be easier and potentially more affordable, because the tests are going, for people to travel. What are your feelings about masks on plane? Because, of course, it's your own staff that could potentially be protected too.
Yes, it's really good news, Kate, that the restrictions have gone from this morning in terms of no more passenger locator form, no more tests, whether you're fully jabbed or not. That's been a major barrier. But so have face masks. Many people have been put off from travelling due to the fact they've got to wear those masks on sometimes flights of 12 or 13 hours long haul. And now is the time when those masks shouldn't be needed. Restrictions have gone elsewhere. We don't have to wear them when we go to the cinema or to a pub. Why should we have to wear them on a plane?
Well, shouldn't be restricted, but what if the case is going up and they are needed?
Well, does that mean we're going to see face masks reapplied and have to wear them in a cinema or a pub in the UK? Does it mean we're going to have to wear them again when we go into all settings? There's no sign of that from the government. And I think we have to learn to move on. As Tricia said, we're not seeing those major hospitalizations. We're not seeing the deaths that we sadly saw at the height of the pandemic. And that means the variants are moving on as well by being less intrusive than they were. So I think we've got to strike this happy balance between the health needs and the economic needs and remove that distress that many people have when they're wearing a mask on a plane.
Dr. Greenhouse, what's your response to that? Because undoubtedly, Paul says it there, a happy balance where people feel protected and safe, and the businesses can get back to where they need to get back to so they can start trying to make up for the losses of the pandemic. How do we get there?
Well, first of all, hospitalisations from COVID in the UK are very high currently. There is a risk that hospitals are going to collapse under the strain because, operations are being cancelled. So the idea that this is now a very mild thing, that it's just like a cold, that we really just have to live with it, is absolutely not true. So let's get that straight. But the other thing is, why take the risk? Why say, if the government says we don't need to wear masks, well, there is a science behind this. And it seems to me to be completely crazy and also rather irresponsible of the industry, because wearing a mask isn't going to stop you travelling. And actually, if one person says, look, I can't possibly wear a mask, it scares me, that's fine for that person. But as a general rule, we're all going to be more comfortable, we're all going to be safer if we are wearing high quality FFP2 or FFP3 masks. We're actually quite used to it now. And if I went to the cinema, I would be wearing one. So let's just get used to it until the pandemic is actually over, rather than us pretending it's over.
Okay.
I don't think it's irresponsible. It's not irresponsible of the travel industry and airlines to be taking masks away. That would be the case for every other sector. If you're a pub owner, if you're a cinema owner, then they're irresponsible as well. Are the government's advisors irresponsible by saying that masks shouldn't be worn? We've got to move on. We're going into a new era. We're not in the pandemic anymore.
OK, I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there. I'm sorry, Dr Greenhouse.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
No. Dr Greenhouse, you're...
and people are still allowed to wear masks if they want to.
Of course, and they're personal choice. Unfortunately, we're out of time. It is a debate that rages on, though, isn't it, with the professionals, as you were saying, from the medical profession saying one thing, and then, of course, Paul, you're coming from a different angle from the tourism industry. But we do appreciate you joining us this morning, and it feels like you guys at home are divided as well. Lots of people, personal choice. They will carry on wearing masks, but they're happy that things are getting back to normal.